Ladies and gentlemen, listen, you've been lied to. They told you we all have the same 24 hours. Like it was some comforting, equalizing truth. It's not. It's a test, a constant battle. Because while you're sleeping in, scrolling TikTok or watching Netflix, someone else right now is building a legacy, stacking cash, and dominating life. Time is the most ruthless currency. It doesn't care how rich you are. It doesn't pause for your problems, and it sure as hell doesn't wait for the perfect moment. Every single winner on earth, every multi-millionaire, every champion, every empire builder, they all got the same 24 hours. The only difference, they used theirs like a weapon. Wake up early, train your mind, master your body, make your money work while others sleep. You think success is luck. No, it's strategy, it's routine. It's war. You want to know what separates the kings from the peasants? It's not money, it's not connections, it's not even talent, it's time, and how you use it. Every single person on this planet, from the billionaire in Dubai to the broke guy in his mom's basement, wakes up with the exact same 24 hours, the same ticking clock, the same opportunity, but what you do with those hours defines your destiny. Time is the ultimate equalizer. It doesn't care about your race, your background, your trauma, or your struggles. It doesn't pause for your insecurities or speed up because you had a good idea. Time gives you a daily allowance, and whether you waste it or invest it is entirely on you. There's no refund, no rollover. You either use the hours to build or you waste them and rot. People like to complain about the system, about how life isn't fair, about how others have advantages, and sure, some people have head start, rich families, better schooling, fewer obstacles. But here's the cold truth. No one can buy more time. Not Elon Musk, not Jeff Bezos, not Andrew Tate. Every single day, they get the same 24 hours that you do, but they use theirs ruthlessly, with clarity. With fire, with purpose. That's why they're winning, and most people are stuck living paycheck to paycheck, hoping things magically change. Let me ask you this. What did you do with your last 24 hours? Did you build a business? Did you sharpen your body? Did you study a skill that makes you more valuable? Or did you binge? Watch some nonsense on Netflix, scroll endlessly through TikTok, or lie in bed feeling sorry for yourself? Because the world doesn't care about your feelings, it responds to your actions. That's the raw truth. Time doesn't care how you feel. You could be sad, tired, broke, or depressed, and guess what? The sun still rises. The clock still moves, life still goes on, and while you're sitting there waiting for the perfect moment, the winners are out there creating the moment. They aren't waiting, they're working, strategizing, executing. You don't need more motivation. You don't need someone to hand you an opportunity. You need to wake up and realize you're wasting the most valuable resource you'll ever have: time. Every wasted hour is a step backwards. And in a world that's moving fast, where the next generation of wealth, influence, and power is being built online in real time, you can't afford to waste a second. You've got to understand this. Time is leverage. Every hour you spend reading, building, lifting, learning, networking, selling, that's a brick in your empire. Stack enough of them, and you build a life people envy. Waste enough of them, and you live a life you hate. People often say, I don't have time. That's nonsense. Everyone has time. The problem is priorities. You have time. You just choose to waste it on junk, on distractions, on weakness. The man building a business and the man complaining about his life both had the same hours today. One chose power, the other chose pity, and here's where the winners separate themselves. They respect time like it's sacred. They guard it. They schedule it. They optimize it. They don't let weak people or lazy habits steal it. Because they understand the game. Time is life. How you spend your time is how you spend your life. If you waste time, you waste life. If you master time, you master life. It's not about working every second. It's about being intentional, strategic, purposeful. Winners don't just work hard, they work smart. They cut out what doesn't matter. They focus only on what moves the needle. They say no to distractions, drama, and anything that pulls them off course. Every minute matters. Every hour counts. Every day is a chance to get ahead. If you're broke right now, it's not just because of money. It's because you haven't respected your time. You've traded your hours for comfort instead of growth, for pleasure instead of purpose, for distraction instead of domination, and now it's catching up to you. But here's the good news, you can change it. Not tomorrow, now. You've got 24 hours today, the same 24 the winners have. What are you going to do with it? This is your wake-up call. Time is either your greatest ally or your silent assassin. You decide, but one thing is certain, the clock is ticking. You can't stop it. You can't rewind it. You can only use it or lose it. And when the day ends and the world resets, you'll either be closer to your goals or further behind. The difference, how you used your 24. And winners, they use it different. You know what losers love to say, I'm busy. They walk around pretending like activity equals productivity, like chaos equals success. But the truth is, everyone's busy. The broke guy working 2 jobs is busy. The millionaire running a business is busy. The guy who hasn't seen progress in years is busy. The problem isn't being busy. The problem is what you're busy doing, because winners prioritize and losers procrastinate under the illusion of work. You think success comes from doing more. No, success comes from doing what matters, consistently, aggressively, and without hesitation. There are only a few things that move your life forward. Winners identify those things, lock in on them, and eliminate everything else. They don't chase 10 goals. They conquer one, then the next. Laser focus, ruthless clarity. That's the difference. Losers drown in distraction. They wake up late, scroll their phones for 30 minutes, then complain that they don't have time to go to the gym, build a business, or invest in themselves. They tell themselves they'll do it tomorrow, as if tomorrow gives a damn about their plans. But tomorrow is just another excuse to be average. Winners, they don't wait. They move, they execute, they dominate. Let's be honest. You know what you should be doing. You know you should be training your body. You know you should be learning a high-income skill. You know you should be cutting off toxic people, quitting that weak habit, starting that business idea. You know, but what do most people do instead? They delay, they put it off, they scroll, snack, snooze, and settle, and then they wonder why they're stuck. Here's the truth most people can't handle. Procrastination is cowardice disguised as logic. You tell yourself you need more time, more information, a better mood, the perfect moment, but deep down it's fear, fear of failure, fear of discomfort, fear of effort, so you mask it with fake productivity. You organize your files, you write long to-do lists, you research for hours, but none of it moves the needle. It's motion, not progress. It's busy work, not real work. Winners don't let fear paralyze them. They act in spite of it. They understand that clarity comes from execution, not overthinking. They know the fastest way to succeed is to do the hard things first, the things that matter, the things that make you uncomfortable, the things that actually produce results. And here's what most don't get. Your brain will always try to trick you into comfort. It'll tell you to check your messages one more time. It'll say just 10 more minutes of rest. It'll whisper, you deserve a break. But every time you listen, every time you delay, every time you choose comfort over purpose, you reinforce weakness, you condition your mind to avoid pressure, and you train yourself to lose. Winners are different. They build habits that destroy hesitation. They attack the day. They wake up with a list of what needs to be done, and they knock it out without negotiation. Gym, done. Sales calls, done. Studying, done. They don't feel like it. They do it anyway, because they've trained themselves to prioritize the mission, not the mood. And guess what? Prioritization is a skill. You don't just wake up knowing how to run your life. You have to train it. You have to audit your time, track your habits, eliminate distractions, and focus like a machine. You have to ask, what actually moves me forward? What am I doing that's wasting my time? Who is helping me grow and who is dragging me down? If it doesn't make you stronger, richer, smarter, or more dangerous, it doesn't belong in your life, period. Because at the end of the day, winners are not more talented. They're more intentional. They're not luckier, they're more focused. They don't work harder by accident. They work smarter by design. They know what matters. They put it first. And they destroy everything else that distracts. And don't misunderstand this. It's not about being perfect. It's about being committed. Everyone slips, everyone makes mistakes, but winners course. Correct fast. Losers dwell in guilt and delay the restart. Winners forgive themselves and keep moving with urgency. So here's what you need to do. Stop delaying the work that matters. Cut the crap you know is holding you back. Replace "I'll do it later" with "I'll finish it now." Build systems, routines, and rules that force discipline. Respect your time like your life depends on it, because it does. You've got the same 24 hours as the greats, and in those hours you can either build your legacy or bury your potential. Winners choose the first option. They don't hope, they prioritize, they don't postpone, they execute, they don't make excuses, they make moves. So while losers procrastinate, winners dominate. Motivation is a scam. It's a temporary emotion, a little dopamine spike that disappears the moment life gets hard. People wait around for motivation like it's some magical drug that's going to transform their life. They scroll social media looking for inspiration, watching videos of guys grinding in the gym or flashing their cars, thinking, yeah, tomorrow I'll start. But guess what? Tomorrow never comes for the weak, because the ones who win in life, they don't run on motivation, they run on discipline. You think champions feel motivated every day. You think I want to train every morning, run businesses, handle pressure, and keep going nonstop. No, I don't always feel like it. I just do it anyway, because my results don't care how I feel, my goals don't care if I'm tired, my future doesn't care if I'm in the mood. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't want to do it. And if you're serious about winning, you better make discipline your religion, because when motivation fades, and it always does, only discipline will keep you going. The reason most people stay broke, weak, and average is because they wait until they feel like it. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel inspired. They wait for a sign from the universe. Meanwhile, the disciplined are doing. They're waking up at 5 a.m. They're training, learning, building, selling, creating, regardless of how they feel. Because they understand that emotion is a trap, action is power. Let me explain something simple. You brush your teeth every day. Why do you always feel like it? Of course not. But you do it anyway because you know if you don't, your teeth will rot. The same principle applies to your body, your money, your mind, and your future. If you don't do the work, things will rot. And that decay, that weakness, it's coming for you if you don't build the habit of showing up every single day. Motivation whispers, maybe later. Discipline says, we go now. Motivation tells you to scroll. Discipline tells you to focus. Motivation gets excited about the dream. Discipline does the work to make it real. Now let's get educational here. Motivation is a state. It comes and goes, triggered by your mood, environment, or circumstances. It's unreliable. You might feel unstoppable today and completely lost tomorrow. That's human, but winners build a system, a routine, a standard. They don't rely on how they feel. They rely on who they've become, and who they've become is a disciplined machine. If you want a real result in your life, money, muscles, status, freedom, you need to create rituals. You don't get rich by being motivated. You get rich by working every single day whether you feel like it or not. You don't get strong by going to the gym when it's convenient. You go because it's part of who you are. Discipline is identity. It's simple. Discipline is freedom. The undisciplined are slaves. To laziness, to addiction, to weakness, to fear. They're ruled by emotion, but the disciplined, they're free, free to win. Free to rise, free to dominate life on their terms. Let me break it down for you practically. If you set a goal and leave your progress up to how motivated you feel, you've already lost. Instead, build a structure. Wake up at the same time every day. No negotiation. Block time for your mission, business, training, learning. Say no to distractions. Phone off, focus on the work. Track progress daily. Numbers don't lie. Show up even when it sucks, especially when it sucks. Because that's what builds character. That's what builds results. That's what builds winners. Here's something else people don't get. Discipline is earned. You don't just snap your fingers and become disciplined. It's forged through repetition, through pain, through sacrifice. Every time you follow through on your promise to yourself, you build confidence. Every time you choose effort over ease, you get stronger. Discipline is a muscle, and the more you train it, the more powerful you become. And let me be clear, discipline isn't punishment, it's purpose, it's pride, it's waking up and knowing you're in control. That you own your time, your choices, your life, that you don't wait for life to happen. You make life happen, so forget motivation. It's weak, it's emotional, it's for spectators. Winners don't watch, they do. They don't hope, they act. They don't rely on hype, they rely on discipline. Excuses are the language of the weak. They're the shield losers used to protect themselves from truth. Every time you open your mouth to explain why you didn't do what needed to be done, you're confessing to the world that you don't have what it takes. You're saying, I'm too soft to face reality, so I'll justify my failure. People say things like, I'm tired, I'm stressed. I had a lot going on. It's not the right time. I'll start tomorrow. It's just hard right now. No one cares. Let that sink in. No one cares. Not your boss, not your friends, not your competitors. And especially not life. The world doesn't reward excuses. It rewards execution. It rewards results. You think success waits around for you to get your emotions in check. You think the world pauses just because you're not in the mood. No. It keeps moving, with or without you. Excuses are easy. Anyone can make them. Anyone can blame the weather, the economy, their upbringing, or their circumstances. The weak do it daily, but the strong take responsibility. They own everything, even when it's not their fault, because they know that ownership is power. Here's the truth. You're not failing because of external factors. You're failing because of internal softness. You let your comfort dictate your actions. You let feelings override logic. You choose the easy route because pain scares you more than mediocrity. That's the real problem, and no excuse in the world will change that. The moment you eliminate excuses from your life is the moment your life changes. Why? Because excuses give you permission to stay the same. They let you sleep in when you should be up grinding. They let you skip the gym. They let you avoid the hard conversation. They make weakness feel justified, and once weakness becomes normal, you've already lost. Winners operate differently. They get sick, but still show up. They lose, but still learn. They get knocked down, but get up faster. They don't cry about how unfair life is. They don't sit around waiting for conditions to be perfect. They adapt, they adjust, they figure it out. Winners take every obstacle and turn it into ammunition. They look at every excuse and ask, what would a stronger version of me do right now? Let's break this down logically. Excuses are a waste of energy. Instead of using your brain power to figure out how to overcome, you're using it to explain why you're behind. You're using your creativity to justify quitting instead of finding solutions. That's not intelligence. It's mental laziness. You need to start catching yourself every time an excuse pops up. I'm tired should become good. Time to build stamina. I don't have time becomes let me cut the garbage and make time. It's not my fault turns into maybe not, but it's my responsibility now. That shift from victim to owner is where growth begins. That's where power is built. Let me give you something tactical. Every time you feel an excuse forming in your head, say this out loud. No one's coming to save me. Because it's true. There's no secret mentor, no magic button, no perfect day coming to rescue you. It's on you, and the faster you accept that, the faster you become unstoppable. Here's what happens when you kill your excuses. You become mentally sharp. You start seeing problems as puzzles, not walls. You develop grit that others don't have. You stop wasting time and start gaining momentum. You build a level of self-respect that few ever feel. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. Life will punch you in the face. People will betray you. Plans will fall apart. But instead of crying about it, you respond with action. You get up. You regroup. You strike again. Why? Because that's what winners do. That's what you must do. If you keep justifying failure, you'll stay stuck in the same loop. Year after year, excuse after excuse, regret after regret. And one day you'll wake up old, bitter, and broken, wondering why your life didn't turn out the way you imagined. I'll tell you why. You protected your comfort more than your potential. So here's the deal. Burn the excuse book, rip it to shreds. From now on, there's only one standard. Do what needs to be done, no matter how you feel. Get up early, train hard, make the call, finish the work, cut the weakness, no complaining, no blaming, no hesitation. You want success, you want power, you want freedom, then kill the excuses and become the kind of person who doesn't need them. The clock is the most honest thing you'll ever face in your life. It doesn't care who you are, it doesn't care how much potential you have, it doesn't care what your intentions are, it just keeps ticking. Second after second, day after day, whether you're working or wasting time, whether you're grinding or gossiping, whether you're building your empire or binging garbage, the clock keeps moving forward. And it doesn't lie. Look at where you are right now in life. Your body, your bank account, your relationships, your knowledge. You're not there by accident. You're there because of how you've used your time. That's it. Time is the measuring stick of truth. You say you want to be rich. The clock knows if you've been putting in the hours. You say you want to be fit. The clock knows if you've been consistent. You say you want freedom. The clock can expose your discipline or your laziness. It's simple. Your results are the reflection of how you've invested your hours. People lie to themselves all the time. I'm trying. I'm working hard. I just need a break. But the clock sees everything. It doesn't care about your words. It only measures your execution. Every minute you scroll instead of study, every hour you waste instead of build, every day you delay instead of dominate, that's time lost. Gone, forever, and no motivational quote, no coach, no apology is going to bring that back. What makes the winners different is they respect time like it's a weapon. They know the clock is always running, and they treat every hour like it's sacred. They track their time, they own their routines, they dominate their schedule. You'll never catch a real winner saying, "I don't know where the day went." Because they know exactly where their time went, and exactly what it produced. Now let's get brutally real. If you're not where you want to be in life, the answer isn't outside of you. It's not your boss. It's not your city. It's not your parents. It's not your lack of resources. It's your poor time management. You've allowed your emotions to hijack your hours. You've traded growth for comfort. You've let small distractions steal massive opportunities. The clock doesn't lie, but you do. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," you lie. Every time you say, "I didn't have time," you lie. Every time you say, "I'm doing my best," but you know deep down you're coasting, you lie. The clock knows. And guess what? So do you. You don't need more time. That's the biggest lie people tell themselves. You don't need 26 hours in a day. You need more urgency. You need clarity, intensity, and non-negotiable standards. The winners get more done in 2 hours than most get done in 2 days. Because they're focused, they're intentional, and they're relentless. They don't leave their schedule to chance. They attack it. Wake up. Train, learn, build, repeat, no fluff, no excuses, no distractions. While you're hitting snooze, they're hitting reps. While you're scrolling reels, they're writing deals. While you're binging Netflix, they're building networks. Same 24 hours, different mindset, different results. Here's what no one tells you. Time is either your ally or your enemy. There's no in between. If you use it with precision, it compounds. Skills compound, strength compounds, money compounds, success compounds. But if you waste it, that compounds too. Regret compounds, weakness compounds, failure compounds, and before you know it, you're 5 years older, still in the same place, telling yourself the same stories. This is where you need to get ruthless with yourself. Audit your day. Track where every hour goes. Ask yourself, what did I do today that moved me closer to who I want to become? If you can't answer that with full confidence, you're losing. The clock won't lie to you. It'll show you every day. If you're living with purpose or just existing, it's not about being perfect. It's about being awake, being disciplined, being intentional. Every morning is a blank canvas. Every hour is a brushstroke, and the masterpiece of your life will be built or broken by how you paint it. Stop saying you don't have time. Stop acting like life is unlimited. Start realizing this. The clock is ticking, and it never stops. So when people look at you 5 years from now, they'll either see a man who respected time and built something powerful, or a man who wasted it and blamed everything but himself. You choose, but just remember this, the clock doesn't lie. And if you don't start using it to your advantage, it will become your silent executioner.